So I definitely appreciate it. Maybe somebody went away to get a cup of tea or something, and they'll be right back. But anyway, let me start time up. Pretty much in the same place that we left it last time. I was having a look-see around, and maybe we'll give a bit of a summary as I normally do as people funnel in when the stream starts. It seems like people come in, see the blank screen in a sense, and then leave. Maybe they come back, like I said, a cup of tea or whatever they're doing. But we have a little more to work on. Looks like we got a lot of our roads done over here in our oil area, and we're pretty well on our way. This is a big construction project here. Imagine it will go a little faster when we get these other little things done. And over here we have pretty much everything done. Even some of these oil things are all done. There might be a little thing or two we're missing that we need or forgot to construct. Hello, Radomir. Welcome to the stream. I see you're here early today. I know some days it's a struggle to get here early. So thanks for being here. And yeah, so as far as that goes, I was looking, all of our construction depots are pretty busy at this point. And I was looking at this here, and they're out of gravel. And we have our new gravel thing. Now, they were just getting gravel from over here, so I think that's part of the problem, is that this is empty. So I thought maybe we could grab a truck or two, if it makes any sense, and maybe bring them over real quick. Let's see. Yeah, what is this guy doing? I don't see. So he's just loading up over on the other end of things. This guy says he's on his way here, so I think maybe we could change his route. Let this guy get. Might as well let him load up over there, since he's. Maybe we just take two of them, kind of hedge our bet. Otherwise, we're not using our gravel quarry over there that much. Maybe we'll just take one. If we really need more gravel, we'll just put another truck on the job. How's that sound? Do we have trucks? No, just a. What do you call it? Just a mixer over there, and other things, but nothing. I thought that mixer might have been a dump truck. Hey, Prof. Bear, welcome. And Happy New Year to you guys, too. Hey, Sisyphal Purplic. Did I get better that time? Probably not. I think it felt better anyway. Hello, John. Welcome. How's everybody? Okay, so what am I doing? I'm going to go here and say, okay, instead of going here on your next pickup, oops, where are you at? You're probably 3/4 of the way over there already, but yeah, we want to come to somewhere over here. That's right, we built, oh, you know what, we didn't finish building this, did we? Well, you know what, we could still, yeah, let's switch them to come in here. Load, gravel. Right, we don't have that many trucks back and forth. My fear with this is that if you get a number of trucks back and forth into here, you're going to cause a clog up. But we'll finish getting this built, which looks like we're pretty close to done. So I want to leave this guy open so we kind of remember, hopefully, to go take care of that little problem. And then how are we doing? Yeah, we could just use that storage yard as a bit of a buffer. It would have been probably smart to put the storage yard right here, just in case we had intermittent flow. These guys only store 10 tons. I don't know how much, well, how much do they use? 0.5, so that's should be okay if we got pretty steady flow at all. But, oh, is this guy done that quick? Well, there we go. We don't even have to remember. Nice. All right, so now you, that quickly, are going to get a new stop. All right. Gravel. Load, delete. There we go. All right, now do we get another dumper, or do we see about? I mean, I think it's fine to send some gravel over there, but I think these guys, since it's all this, would be better off going to the actual. Yeah, they only got one dumper. I'm feeling like another dumper at least over on this. We probably should cut off one of the guys going over there. Right. Can we tell which one? Are you? So you're working for construction. Yeah. What about you? See another one coming. No. Okay. Well, that's just. Yeah, so we'll take another one of these now that we have that thing done over here. Right, and I never interfered with him. All right, good. So this one we can close. That one we can close. Yeah, and I think you're better off coming over to heat. Well, do we just keep this guy going back and forth? Right, and hopefully now we'll have a little bit better flow of the stuff. Because we're not going to be going quite as far to get it. Actually, we're going pretty far to get it, aren't we? It's a little bit closer, but... Yeah, you know what? Let's just bite the bullet. We have plenty of money. And we'll get ourselves another dumper. It's a shame we don't have our auto manufacturing going. I don't mean to get too bogged down this early in this, but I kind of would like to take care of the problem. Yeah, we get this kind of dumper. But this is the kind of thing I'd like to get out of the way. So now we're going to head back over here. Right. I'm going to put this guy on wait because there's only 2 of them. There you go. Now, what are you? Okay. And that is gravel, right? Yeah. So why'd you... Oh, because you went to your first stop. Oops. That wasn't too smart. Uh-oh. We've got a conversation I don't understand. I hope you guys are being nice to each other, right? YouTube will get mad at me if you make untoward comments in the live stream. Hello, Steve. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. All right, so I think, well, what are we doing? Nothing here, right? We got our little train thing going the last time, and I think here's a question for you guys. I want to commit to these railroad tracks. All right, so we got our railroad track that we managed to get all the way across to here. And I think I was thinking about it at one point, very briefly, so I want to get your guys' thoughts on it. It would certainly be nice to be able to get a couple more trains working on some of this stuff. So let me go ahead and commit. That's our rail lines to the outside world. All right, so they're all committed to now, including our new food factory warehouse. We can run food over to here, get it out onto a train if we want, or have it picked up with a vehicle. And it would be nice to have more than one vehicle at a time coming in here. Yeah, so where are you guys at? Are you jammed up, or I don't really see anybody working? Oh, we just got a tiny bit of gravel. That would explain it. Where are they? Do we have everything else we need? Yeah, I got too many bricks. We got everything else we need. Why don't I see anybody moving? So anyway, I would like to be able to get a few more trains in here, which probably means like building a crisscross where they can get into here. They might get a bit of a long jam up getting in there because I don't really want to build a second bridge. I mean, we could. And then I was thinking kind of the same thing here. At some point, we could do a bit of a crisscross. And we need to get this built, right? So we could at least start sending a train into here and there. And it's a little bit bothering me why I don't see anybody moving. I mean, you'd think at least one of them would be moving, right? All right, let's do this. Let's start over again. Now, can you guys even work on this? No, probably not. But let's just get them out of this zone here. Right, which really just means one train. right? So I guess we just don't have enough gravel still. We're going to hold our horses on that. And let's... The other thing is, so we have our export over there, is where do we build our thing? And I'm really kind of liking this spot. Someone suggested over here, but I'm thinking of the trucks more than the trains. Like it's going to be a little more central over here. And then one of the reasons I'm also thinking that is we could probably end up putting a train construction depot over in this area, especially if we leveled it out a little bit. Even though I don't even think we'll have to level too much. See if we happen to have a... Yes, we have the stuff we need. So if we were to level out... And this road... Yeah, I guess that was our road to our old town. We start backing into this hill here, but I think we can... It's just a little dirt road to the thing. Nothing we forgot to hook up, right? And that's not really enough room unless we went over to this side as well. And it's not enough room because we'd have to come further into here, I think. So I think for the sake of leveling, I may just change what I just did. Maybe go for like this height where we'll slope this up a bit at some point. The construction thing can maybe go down there, and then it'll be a little bit less work to do this end. That road's kind of right. That road's bothering me. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you guys can talk in Czech. It's just as long as you don't want me involved with the conversation, which is kind of okay. I mean, as long as you're not, like I said, as long as you're not cussing about people or something YouTube would get mad at. Then I'm all good with it. Yeah, I don't know what... Well, I guess you get in trouble in life no matter what you do, whether it's your fault or not, in a sense. I really haven't tried... I mean, you guys see 90% of what I've played. I mean, my first attempt at forklifts will be here, and neither one of my maps is really very well suited to the boats. So for the most part, no, other than we're going to do a little bit of forklifting here. I think if I did another map, obviously I would tend to do that. But this city, I really don't know if you would do anything with boats. Maybe deliberately, you might like put a port up here. I'm not sure. We don't really have anything to construction-wise up here, like construction office. Like we could get our exports out by boat, but if it fits with all the rest of the game mechanics, I think it'd be awful tough for us to build it up there for really no other reason. I would rather almost just start another map and then like just say come over to this river or something and start with the boats going up and down this river. Now I'm not sure what happens with our bridges. You would think they would affect the boats? And then the same thing with the other map. It really doesn't make a lot of sense where I've put my cities. There was no boats when I planned the whole thing out, so. When you say pick 3 spots, A, B, and C, what are you going to vote on? I mean, and it might just be because I'm the lag in the conversation. Looking at this too, I've leveled this out, but this is kind of looking like not a bad area in here, is it? Let's just level it and see what it looks like. I know things don't have to be perfectly level. Yeah, we got kind of a hill right here, but we could take care of that. This is getting to be a... That really wasn't that hard to do. Yeah, that's turning into a much easier, nicer area to maybe put a series of let's just do like this. Oh, we need an excavator. Okay. Well, I would picture over here, here. Somebody was saying closer to the export, which would be there. But again, I'm not too worried about the trains getting over there. Say we made our lines. You know, most of the stuff that we would export is going to be from over there. But we've already exported this. Steel could go right out that way already. Right? So, you know, as far as A, B, and C goes, and when you say a hub, I'm assuming you mean the like export hub, or just really a hub for goods, you know, something like this, but we would also, you know, potentially bring clothing into it. We have the fabric over here. And, well, clothing could go out the other way if we're just exporting a train full of clothing. So that's kind of already covered. Same thing if we, I don't think we ever would, but we could do the food now from over here. So it would really be for this. Like for the stuff we made over here, like electronics, and I don't know that we would ever export electrical components, but the vehicles. So what do you guys think? Do you have an opinion about where this goes? I mean, I'm not sure about A, B, and C, but if we figure out, yeah, we could stay on this side of the road, which would make it a little bit easier for the mechanical components guy. That's kind of a nice flat spot. Or I guess so we'll do A, B, or C. How's that sound? Somebody let me know if there's a D out there that they would want. Does that, what do you guys think? This might be a little bit more leveling. Now, what would we want here? So we're going to want a warehouse. We'll talk about that as we think about the whole thing. Yeah, it's almost a shame. I mean, really, yeah, we don't have a vehicles export, but we could just send them over there. Yeah, that's a warehouse. All right, what do we have over here? Is this space for vehicles? Now, does that have... No, see, that doesn't have a... Let's go to storages. No, it doesn't... They didn't add it to there. All right, let's go back to... Yeah, we could put this in there now that that's not built. The problem is... Well, we'd have to change our road, right? But that we could get vehicles right out through that thing. Or we put one of these down here, even though it doesn't make... Yeah, it doesn't make complete sense to do that either, does it? Do we build this here before we'd probably put it like down here and have to destroy our road a little bit, right? Because I can't get it back here where that would line up this way, so I could... Yeah, or we could do this, might be better with the road out. Right? And then I'd have to put it so we could curve that factory connection into there. Now, yeah, I mean, that would definitely work there. And that would eliminate, you know, the train could come up here to get things. And I just would want to try to avoid messing with our passenger line too much. So it looks like I'm kind of combining... Yeah, I'm combining the passenger line onto here, which I don't normally do. Or no, do we have... Oh, that's right. Yeah, what am I doing? Oh, no, the passenger line's all in the back. Never mind. This is for construction purposes. And maybe what do you think? Do we redesign this? Yeah, I think I'm going to. I'll give you guys a few seconds to decide. Nope, and we're 15 minutes in, so I think everybody who's not here is not on time. Yeah, I think I'm going to destroy this now. Can we get around both ways? Yeah. So if I do, seems like we're using this an awful lot. I kind of hate to destroy it, but I think we're going to. All right, let's do this carefully. All right, we already bring some stuff, yeah, but not much. All right, don't crash the game. It makes me nervous nowadays when they. Right. Yeah, I think we're just going to get rid of. We'll just use this tool. Let's just see if it fits. All right. Oops. Not. I wanted control, not shift. Now, do we think that will turn in there? Look at that, the road attaches nicely. Let's go for it and see what happens. No, too long. This is going to be a bit of a pain, back and forth. Why are you red? Oh, because we built that little... Yeah, see, I think that's going to be too tight a turn. Too sharp a turn. And we're going to have to angle it. I think that should work there if it would let me. Need a free excavator. Okay. Kind of leveled down more than I leveled up. Yeah, I kind of need a building. I need a. There you go. That's working. All right, now we go in. Yeah, I kind of don't like the way that is on the other end, but... You attach. Now, this could be a job for forklift, too sharp a turn. I think I can move it a little bit further away. This could be an argument for forklifts right here, right? We'll give it another shot, and then we'll... This one. I keep thinking of it as a storage, but... Hey, there we go. Yeah, we kind of poked out into our road a little bit, but kind of half expected that. All right, so let's get the railroad track redone first. I haven't really done anything with it anyway. We'll use this tool to get rid of a bit more road. And this is going to have to go too. Alright, so the railroad track would just need to go out that way. I want a little bit of a straight. Alright, and then that's going to be not so straight. And then this guy, I'm surprised I'm on that red part and it's not fighting with me too much. Alright. Yeah, I don't like that. Turn right. Yeah, let me level a little bit. So I'd actually kind of like to swing that wider where that road wouldn't be such an issue, like, because that road's going to have to come through there, and it's... Well, I guess I could cross right here, though. Yeah, I don't particularly like. I want to keep the road far away from this so that the road signal isn't always red if there's. Let's do like that. Yeah, I have had that, but it's usually been because I didn't have any people. Good. See, like, hopefully that's far enough away if there is a train sitting in there. Right? And then we come down like that. Right, and that's all that I think would need to attach to that guy. There we go. So now we can get a train into here, even though it might be a bit awkward. Right, and then tracks. I guess I should stop closing that. And then these connections. There, it's a little bit ugly and at an angle and all that, but it worked. Yeah, it was a very, very close to another forklift operation there. Yeah, John, I was going to say, I agree with Rodiman. At one time I noticed it, it was because I didn't have any workers. And then I'm pretty sure if you don't get workers, the other thing that can happen to you is if one of your fire trucks is at a fire and it sits there like that and the building collapses, it destroys your fire truck. So I'm thinking that's how I might have lost some of my fire trucks at that point. Let's see what this guy's doing. Are you still... You made a little progress, but you're still struggling for gravel, aren't you? Because like I said, this isn't really that much closer. Are we doing okay with gravel? Yeah. Yeah, we're over there getting some. Alright, so I didn't see any votes for A, B, or C. This being, what did we say? A, build it over here, have the trucks come further this way. B, I guess, would be just more right in the center here, which, well, now that we did this, we could I'm de-hubifying it, isn't it? Aren't I? And really, I'm thinking of it mostly for these mechanical components. Now, is there another railroad? Yeah, see, there's no real railroad connection off of here, but is there one of these? Yeah, we could do... You know, it could get its own stop here. Now, then again, if we did a hub, the thing I would like about that is we could just say, like, load anything, like anything that's in the hub. But I think the problem with that is going to be we wouldn't really be able to use the hub to distribute to the rest of our kingdom unless we made some really kind of fancy fill the one and then the other one. The game doesn't balance things where you can say, okay, at this station... I only want you to pick, like, it would always just be picking up, like, whatever it decided. It would pick up the steel first and never pick up prefab panels. I don't think there's any way to tell the trains a certain percentage of one thing and a certain percentage of the other. Right? Like, if we were to just look at this, there's no way. You could say just load oil or a certain percent, but then you would have to have, like, a separate station, as far as I know, to have it pick up. Like, if you did 25% steel, and then if it wouldn't balance it out, like, it would be nice if it... Well, I guess we could do something, but again, we're not going to export steel here. And I don't want this to be too complicated. Just a place to sell some of the electronics, and maybe a place to sell some clothing. Well, clothing can go out that way with its own train. Yeah, really, it's just, I guess, the mechanical components we can't reach, and the electronics would be the two things, and then the cars, which, or whatever other vehicles, which we just, you know, made an export bay for them, so that would be good. And then, yeah, I don't think we would do electrical components, because we might as well turn them into electronics or cars. And then same thing with the plastics. I'm not sure that we would export those, though we could. And if we did the central hub, then we could send whatever we wanted there from this area, like if we had extra fabric. Now, the fabric we could try to export from here. Yeah, that would be a little awkward. I think I did this little train line so that we could bring fabric back this way and into here. Good, that guy's plugging away. Now, what I think I'd like him to do is, let's cancel what he's working on. Not demolish, just do this. And then I want you to work on the other side of that. Right, because once he works past here, we could put a crisscross in and then send 2 trains in there, even if we had to signal them off so that if there was one sitting here, he would wait till the other one gets out of there, or just make sure it's signaled all the way down this end where where the connection happens. Yeah, let's do that right now. So by just putting in a couple signals here, right, that'll make sure that we could put 2 train. Oh, wait, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, I don't know if that was that helpful, but it wouldn't hurt. So yeah, I want to get that, this is going to take forever and a day, this tunnel. So we'll be done and we'll be quitting the map by the time we get that tunnel done, I have a feeling. So the more trains we can get in there working on that tunnel, probably the better. Yep, this guy did the dumb, let me go back the opposite way thing. Right. And I can't send another construction crane out. Let's get ready to, though. I'm assuming you have Steam, Radomir. If you go to Steam, you go to like right click on the game in your library, and then I think there's one of them says version or something along those lines, and you can, somewhere right in there in the Steam, you can tell it you want the test version. All right, so do we have another train working this way? I don't see them actually going out, or are they just causing a traffic jam for each other? We're probably just waiting for gravel, aren't we? Yeah, more or less. So that's how you do it. And did you guys notice? I noticed this today. I don't pay too much attention to those things. I've been kind of busy, and I'm going to get busier over the course of this year. So I'm going to have to, like I've mentioned, cut down a bit on the YouTube, or at least find a way to do what I'm doing without interfering with real life quite as much. And like I said, it's not like I can't do it. It's just, it's taking away too much of my real life time. In other words, there's just other things that I need. Now, what are you doing? Did you come back out to work on this? Crazy guy. Yeah. I haven't seen him do that before. I don't know if that's... Wasn't he heading back from that, or did I just misconstrue what was going on there? I don't mind that he worked. It'd be great if we can assign these things to them. Oh, good, yeah. Yeah, I haven't had too much. I mean, well, obviously, I'm still playing the same map since whenever. Now, are you going to get stuck in there? Yep. All right. You know what, though? He's not completely stuck. It's only when they finish that loop around that they get completely stuck in there. Yeah, so another guy can come out and work on this, and then we can put our crisscross in. Yeah, so let me think. If we're going to get mechanical components, which we need to be driving down this road, it means our truck's going to be right by here. Could drop off the mechanical components, I'm forgetting, I guess over here. Then they'll could be coming back out to pick up another load. Makes me want to go over here. Yeah, I'm thinking over up this way, even if it means a little bit more. If it's just the mechanical components and the electronics at this point, you know what I'm thinking of? Forget the hub altogether. Why don't we just build a railroad track out of here? And then instead of dropping off mechanical components here, we just drop them off here. All right, so let's, somebody asked me at one point, why do you have 100% crops? It's because I put those in there to stop other things, but, like, so in other words, if I put this up to 100%, shrink this, then I could say I want a limited number of these other things, and then nobody's ever going to drop crops off here, so we're good. So this should be electronics, right? Do we only want a limited number of electronics and mechanical components? Now the other thing is I don't want to really steal. Nah, you know what? I don't like that idea because it would be better to... It would actually, really, to be honest, if we're going to export, it would actually be better to fill this guy up manually. In other words, have a truck that picks up from the electronics and drops off here, fills this guy up, right? Like, I don't even know if we need half. With 37% electronics. Same thing with this one, and then they would drive over to our hub and drop things off. And it's not going to be much of a hub. I think it's going to be a warehouse now. And I'm thinking maybe we just put it right up this way where they can do that as easily as possible, right? Like if we had it up over here where they're, you know, they're going to drop off. Yeah, so in other words, yeah, because see, if we just put a truck back and forth, the truck could steal all of your electronics out of here. I'm thinking we let's just suspend this construction for a minute. There's no reason to demolish it, right? Does that make sense? And then I know it's a little bit more cumbersome, but then, you know, the truck would come here, fill this up, and then come over to a warehouse that's going to sit like right here, tied to the railroad tracks. And then whatever ended up in here meant that this building was full and the mechanical components was full. We could tie it into the road like right in that area. All right, like something like this. We're gonna have power. Yeah, power's right there. And I think everything that we would normally want to export is kind of covered at that point. Like, I mean, if we decided to do electrical components, they could go into there. Plastics could go into there if we really wanted. And then for the building of that much more railway. Right, and then we would come off of here. I don't think we'd ever have two trains, but why not? Let's leave enough room for a... We should be able to get a signal in there, right? No. Close. Close, but no cigar. I don't know why they say that. I guess if you get a cigar, that's like a good thing. Kind of a weird saying, isn't it? Right, there we go. So now we'll be able to get a signal in there. So we could theoretically have like a real short train in there. Either way, we're going to want to signal it. That'll be fine. It won't be that much extra track. So what do you guys think? Is that... There goes our hub. Yeah, because oil... We're already exporting oil from over there. I'm not sure that we would worry about exporting it from this end of the map or not. All right, I guess I should commit to these. Now, do we want to build a railway construction? I'm thinking maybe we do, even though we've kind of messed up our leveling. Let's pull it off the road a little bit so we can get it to go out on whichever track. And by that, we should probably come up with a good steady design. Like we want it to be able to actually kind of form like a crisscross kind of thing here. Right, like if we came off this way, yeah, now let's, if we came off this way, they could build that way, and then if we came off this way, they could build that way. And then not miss anything. And we would need to get them to come in here. Right, that's not that too sharp. Yeah, I was afraid of that, but I can take that back a little bit. All right, and then the trick would be to get this one to go into that one. Really be better if we could do like, well, I was thinking with that little straight part, we might be able to. Yeah, see, that would be. Come on. There you go. Right, let's take this back a little bit and try to do the same. Might be too tight here because that had a little straight part. This one, not so much. Yeah, see that? It's just going to follow it around. I might be able to get it from here. No. Probably from here. No. Oh, there we go. Let's pull this forward a little bit more. Yeah, like that should be like, I mean, I'm sure you could do a better, more consistent design. Like if I made another little straight part here and brought it around, but does that make sense for being able to get out of, instead of just doing like a normal intersection, this intersection doesn't leave like a spot where they can't get to if you just wide this off like normally. All right, so let's put the wire frame back on, and I've got to go over to construction. And this guy's kind of up on the hill here. Turn green. Yeah, sometimes the problem is, and you guys probably know this watching my videos enough. See that little red spot right there? So you just come over and give it a little extra level in love, and then you can build this thing a lot closer. All right, watch this. So it'll be green like right here. So let's hit the raw button. Yeah, we'll level you down in there a little bit. Then we have to get them all the things. I think I'm liking him over, well, if we cheat him over this way a bit more, I'm looking at the, it'd be kind of nice if the gravel connection was on that side. Is that enough room? Let me zoom out. Not really. Let's level, because it won't take that long. And I messed up where the railroad's going to come in. Did we mess this up again? Alright, so anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking I might even put this at a little different angle. Alright, the road would need to come in someplace that made sense. I don't particularly want it to cross. I could do this. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like that. Let's keep it off the road this way a little bit more. Right, so the people, like the things we come in this way, then we would want to put road cargo station. Right, far enough off of here so that we could still squeeze by. Oops, now let's do. Let's level you down. Looks like I think that would be a little better. All right, I'm trying to keep this far enough away from where we would put. We don't want aggregate storage, we just want truck unloading. All right, and then we'd have another road. Try to avoid creating another node there, right? And then, oops. All right, so some things could come in that way. Okay, game save didn't mess me up. And then just make sure this conveyor works before I get too excited. Yep. And then we would need power for these things to work, which means we would have to bust into something. I'm pretty sure that's not going to have power. All right, so let's bust into here. Hopefully, what is this already doing? I don't think it should be doing too much. Yeah, it is doing the. Yeah, I don't see another power over to here. If it's doing this factory, that's too much for one power thing. Right, yeah, so we have some open connections there, but I'm worried that if we, yeah, I don't see, oh, we have power up here. Okay, well, hopefully it gets its power from the other one. I'm sure it's about as smart as all the other systems. All right, and we already have one. Where is our closest? I guess we'd come over this way a little bit more with it, near this road. All right, let's get it to where it's not actually attaching to the road, so we can maybe do something like that. And then I'm just going to purchase these things just so we don't cut off power for too long to some place. I don't even know if that's being used at this moment, but what? That's a little weird. What building was in the way of that? I don't know. Maybe the hill was in the way? I don't understand that. I've never had that I'm aware of happen, but it seems to be just as straight as it was before. Now it works. All right, so we'll commit to that power line, and then this should have a road in case it decides to catch on fire. Right. There, so we'll have another little rail construction that we can start getting some stuff done down here. Now we do, yeah, we already have, we could get a train in there as soon as we build these tracks. So let's commit to whatever we need to commit to. One of everything. And conveyor. Alright, so what are you up to these days? Oh, not so much. He's only auto-finding roads. Alright, and then I guess we would get this guy to have a bit of a priority working on that because we can get into this one, and then once we get into here, oops, I guess we should. What do you think? Should we connect? What do you think of connecting this up to the railroad track? Yeah, I know. I think that's a fine idea. Yeah, let's see. Can you? I think I'm just gonna. Yeah, let's level that out a little bit more. Now, will you? Good. And I'll come from the same place. All right, and then I hopefully let's get rid of this because we already attached that. Yeah, you will work. I can tell. Yeah. There you go. Right. Yeah, I think that will work a little bit better, but I think I probably just messed up this construction we just assigned. Thank you, Radomir. I thought you would appreciate that. I knew someone would. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, well let's worry about this. That's a cistern. I don't want the cistern. Let's get over here and get on that. Right, now are you... Yeah, you're well on your way out there. I don't want to really stop that. I don't think that I will. But either way, we should get a signaling in here. Alright, so we make sure we can put a signal here. Leave enough room. Alright. What are you doing? What? Alright, and then that guy... We're gonna go for the gusto and fix our issues later. Let's see if we can't get a few more trains sent out there to work on things. Like I said, I fully expect nothing but traffic jams, but as long as they don't have much signaling, they won't bump into each other too much. And then, yeah, good. This guy, oh, he has to do a whole, no, he can come right down here and get on there. Yeah, and then we can split up our construction cranes a little bit. A couple of them can work over here, and then a couple of them can work over there. And I don't think we're gonna have too much conflicting going on. All right, these two are gonna conflict with each other if two of them go out to work on this stuff. But hopefully the first one comes out, gets his part built before he runs into the second one. Like I said, as long as you don't have signals, they just sort of bump and make one of them makes the other one disappear. Let's let me catch my breath for a minute and read the comment that just came up. Hello. I'm not sure how to say your name because there's too many letters I don't know, but like I guess if I had to in English, it would be like Arno Platt. Arno Pat. Sorry about that. But welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here today. And I'm not making fun of your name. I'm just American and unable to pronounce it. Otherwise, I would do better. All right, so we're making some progress. I think we should check on our construction offices, make sure they're busy. Oh, yeah, you... Source of workers is empty. Don't tell me we're having... People are happy. That's nice. We probably should check on that. Let's look at our population statistics here for a second. So we have almost 10,000 people. And that's nice. And no plus 21s, which is a good sign too. And these guys don't have much to do they? All right, so you're just... Oh, we could assign... They're only looking for roads over here, so I can control the buildings. Oh, did we actually... did I purchase that somehow? I guess I must have, huh? Yeah, we can do these three things. Get this construction office going. And... Yeah, you can start helping with... some of the buildings over here. This is a big, yeah, we're not going to do that one. Look, here's our forklift thing is, do we need to have a road connection to that? Or can it be constructed from these? I guess we're about to find out, right? You know what, we need to get that done. What do we never connect our... you know what, I didn't connect it because I probably didn't want to make a new construction out of this. There we go. Is that Radomir? Is that the Anglis? Is it? Well, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be Englishized, but is that the... I don't know. What kind of alphabet do we use? I'm forgetting. Is that our version of the alphabet? The Western European version of the alphabet, I guess you could call it. Spelling, so agglomerate, something along those lines. Well, welcome, and again, apologies for mispronouncing your name. It's not with no malice whatsoever. Trust me. All right, so these guys, what are you working on? Yeah, you guys could be working on this stuff, and you are. And then getting into here, I think I might just auto build this road, or this railroad. No. That's right. I opened up both of them, and then I guess it completed the one, and I kind of missed it. All right, good. Are we done this yet? Yes. So let's go ahead and we're going to want chain. No, we're going to want, it doesn't really matter, but we're going to want like a one-way out, a chain in. This is a little weird because I don't normally do it this way, but, and then two chains here, right? Yeah, so if they want to go onto this line right now, they can. So that's what we did. Do you see that? So, oh, okay, I thought that one signal disappeared. It's behind the tree. So in other words, we can send one on each of these right now. Did you guys follow that? If you didn't, I'll be happy to go over it again. But yeah, so okay, now we have a little problem. So you're red because somebody is on that line, which is kind of fine, but that means, yeah, we're gonna need to. Yeah, you should go in. We're gonna need to signal a little more because I did that, which is gonna. Once you start signaling, there's no end to the darn problems of signaling. Right? Because then we're going to end up having to put signals here, which we didn't have, which is working out fairly well. No, we don't want that to be a chain. All right, and then... yeah, right here. Yeah, we don't want to signal here because they're going to stop them. See, now we got them both stopped there. Yeah, let's do this for one thing. I think we could do this. Yeah, and see the other one, the reason I did one way here was so that one of the construction cranes could sit right there. And then, yeah, see, so our problem right now is them coming all the way across here. So maybe we do want this to be a chain, but not right. Wow. There's no other trains on that track, right? So like this has to be like a big block so that two trains don't come head to head now. That should probably be a chain too. Nobody should be coming this way for the moment. And then eventually we'll get these guys. Oh, you did a dummy thing, didn't you? Yeah, we either have to sell them, or no, wait, you know what, you didn't get your job complete. We can, cancel this. All right, and then reassign, since we still have this open. Reassign that, and then once we get this all built, we'll be able to get in here and set the trains into this thing, and then they won't have any signaling, and they'll just be able to build whatever they can and want to. Yeah, you're going on the other track. I think I can get away with... We're going to have to construct this one. Well, no, you know what they could... No, they can't really spin around there, can they? So what I'm thinking of is we can get them to build this, because they have to come from the other side to do this one. They should be able to build everything else from in there. All right. Okay, Latin alphabet. That's what I couldn't think of. Thank you, Mathis and Radomir. Okay. Well, that's good information. Yeah, it would be nice if Google Translate would use the Latin alphabet at least as like an option when it translated. So that way when I look for Eastern European, which is obviously what you're going to sort of aim for. I mean, I know, like you just said there, there's Polish and a bunch of those languages that, you know, use the Latin alphabet that I understand. It would be nice if Google Translate... Oh, yeah, look, see, there's no end to the problems. Yeah, see, so the problem is here, there's nothing to stop them from getting into there. And if we don't put something... I guess we could signal off here. See, if I don't put something here, see, they'll just bump into each other. Of course, the wrong train. But then they're going to pick up anything else. So I guess we could just put some signals like here for now. Right? That would just stop this from being red unless there was a train on this part. And we could probably do like this too, just to make sure... See what I mean? So that this becomes a block that's all this monstrosity here is all linked in with this line. So if there's a train anywhere on there, but that way, you know, a train that's way down here isn't going to send a signal into this mess. All right, there we go. We're getting kind of claustrophobic, aren't we? Oops, let's go assign. Just wanted to load these guys up. And they could probably help into here, right? Yeah, good. We got another road going. Can't reach that yet. And rail cranes are going to have to come in there and do that. Yeah, why don't you start helping with the big factory there? Source of gravel is empty is the reason you won't. Well, why don't you... Oops. Why don't we get the source of gravel be over here for this one and the other one. Since most of the work they're going to be doing is going to be kind of over in this end of town anyhow. Now we do have this gravel here, but I think where are these guys getting their... Okay, we've changed them. Yeah, you know what? Let's change that quick. Yeah, because they're getting theirs from over here, and then this guy can do the same thing. Uh-oh, fire truck's going by. I don't know if you guys can hear that. This microphone's really pretty good. I did a little testing not too long after I got it as to what like you could hear. It's really like they talk about directional microscopes. Well, the microscopes are directional too, aren't they? But microphones, and it really does make a difference, like, 'cause it's got two settings where you can like have it pick up the entire room and all the noise, or just kind of in front of it, and it makes an amazing difference. I guess it's maybe got cones in there in a sense where it sort of ignores what's coming from the side a little bit at least. All right, so there we go. So concrete can't produce concrete. And is that... Well, we should have taken some of the gravel issues off of here. So hopefully a few less people are coming here to get gravel. And maybe that'll make the concrete plant produce a little bit better. And this guy can come over here and start helping. Yeah, I think all hands on deck on these. And I don't think anybody else is working on that. And plenty of people are working on that. Yeah, can we... Okay, good. We can assign this through there. We could get to this one. So I assume... Yeah, look, that's cool. That we can get to that through this. But we can't get to it through the factory. All right, so if I tried to assign that now, it doesn't connect. But this one would. See that? Now I'm assuming you would have to come into here to go to this one. Like if you had like another, if this wasn't already built, would you need another road attachment here? Or could you keep going once you're in through the forklift place? Many questions. All right, that's enough for that guy to do for the next 10 minutes. All right, so I think we got caught up on that. So let's go see how. Let's just see how people are doing. Well, we're getting quite a few of them over here. These houses are kind of a little ridiculously big. Yeah, look, we're getting hundreds of people in each one of these. Yeah, I think we may grab a few more people. Yeah, see, we're probably, it's probably close enough that they're walking over to there. But I wouldn't mind grabbing a few extra people out of here. And how are we doing over here? We got room. Yeah. We're not real happy with cinema or sports, are we? I just want to see, make sure we have a little room to expand. Why don't we take a few extra out of here, and we'll make sure there's some in each of these in our new city. It's only 40. Yeah, we could definitely use a few more in each one. Just make sure the other ones. All right, that was 60 into each of those. Same thing there. And then the last one. Good. So that should keep us from that. Now let's fire extinguisher. Where was it? Good job, guys. All right, so how are our fire? I found that actually one of the good things to do when it comes to the fire stations is check here. Let's do all map. Because you'll see how like the vehicle 0, it becomes really easy to buy a new fire vehicle. And as usual, yeah, we'll get a West German fire truck, and then let's buzz over to there and see what we can do to get people up to this. Yeah, so, well, that's definitely going to be something we want a bus or two for. And there is a bus here, though it's kind of a big bus for firehouse purposes. Can we get... Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we just buy the 2 of those little blue buses are nice. Is there another depot over here? There should be, yeah. All right, we might even be getting new vehicles. Yeah, 7's a little bit thin, but... Oh, I didn't necessarily mean to buy that. 7... Yeah, you know what? We're going to sell that guy again. Right, and then now it's not... Okay, there it goes. I had to click. Yeah, see, I want something a little bit bigger because we might even up the number of firemen. And I'd rather have a few extra. So let's go back a page. These 32. Yeah, there's a lot. I wish there was a little more variety, and there's a lot that do 7, but yeah, maybe we'll just get one of the orange buses. Right, and you will go. We have people here. Yeah. Why don't you go from here to here? And I don't think this makes any difference, but certainly don't bring any students out here. Good. So we should get firefighters out there. We seem to have power because he's not complaining about that. Yeah, pretty soon we should get the oil. Oil we need for these places. All right, we don't need an oil refinery. Yeah, we could probably get our... Well, we need to get our train thing going. That's why I sort of put everybody on this, because that's how we're going to get people up to all of these. And I don't want that to take too long. All right, he's building into here. And I never did reassign this, did I? No, this is kind of a... Or did I? Maybe I did. But we're having a traffic jam. Almost guaranteed. No. Were we having a gravel problem? Oops. Well, we definitely are having a gravel problem. Yeah, in a minute, this is going to slow down a lot. It's the other side of this. Now, are we getting... All right. Because once we get this going, then we'll get gravel over to here, which is a lot closer anyway. So let's just be a little bit patient with the whole gravel situation. I mean, I think we should be getting some. I mean, I keep seeing them going in and out, so it's not too bad. All right, so what do you guys think? Is there anything in particular that we need to do that I'm missing besides just building the heck out of many things? Now, one of the things, we could probably get this one. Yep, you already assigned to that. And I know we talked about, there we go, yeah, we'll get, okay, that's going to be enough. And look, this guy's cutting through. It cuts through. I don't normally play, as you guys know, if you watch the regular series, I don't always play with this double fast forward, so sometimes it feels like, yeah, we'll get this guy working on some more of this. Oops. There you go. Lots to do. Oh, look, this guy's already pumping. Oh, we have oil. Hey. Yeah, now this whole balancing thing, is it working? Yeah, look at that, it is. So in other words, the idea here was that because we had two separate lines, and I wanted them balanced out between the two factories, if this one pumps more, this system would like balance the two tanks together. Now, it wouldn't have to be necessarily this far apart all the time, but you could do something like this a little closer where it feeds into the one tank and right back out. So hopefully that's not causing some kind of computer, you know, like where it's just constantly flowing and making us more laggy. But on a small, you know, we don't intend too much for this, but on a smaller map, I don't know that the lag would be such an issue. But I could see where if the game wasn't smart, it would, you know, it's constantly running the math to shuffle stuff. You're just flowing things for no reason. Even if these like filled up, theoretically, the game might be sitting there flowing things. Yeah, well, you know, I'm old enough to appreciate, like, I don't think things changed too fast in the 20th century, at least maybe not to the end of it. You know, like certainly a gramophone was, you know, not something, but another, I mean, things changed pretty quick, but compared to like the last 30 years with all the technology, I mean, a microphone like this would have been some, you know, $3,000 thing that only a major broadcaster would ever tend to have, and I could buy it for $150, which is, you know, kind of an expensive microphone in a way, but not really, not when you compare what was probably thousands of dollars for some professional microphone. If you guys are wondering, it's a Blue Yeti is the kind that I have, which when I looked around, it seemed pretty well recommended. People have opinions about everything, and Blue Yeti is one of the microphones. Certainly are one of them, and I can see why, but it seems to do a pretty good job. You guys could tell me as well as anyone else. It's been, you know, I've been happy with it. The mute button is a little bit sticky in a sense, which is not overly impressive. All right, so this is done. So we can send people in here. This line is done. Yeah, and then how are we doing? I've looked over here a few times. Why are we... What are you doing that you're causing a little traffic jam here? You just decided that you're going to unload here. Okay, so we really are backed up on clothes now. So this is the problem. So the truck came in. This is full. Yeah. Now what are you doing? Yeah, you want to... No, see, okay, this is a problem. This guy can't wait here. All right, we should probably take a look, make sure we're not buying any clothes anyplace. So this guy's job is to sit in the factory, right? And then these two guys' job is to go take clothing over to shopping centers. But because this guy's waiting to unload, he blocks up the whole thing. And this is where we should have had... Yeah, see, look, there's no end. Yeah, well, this will end soon, this particular issue right here. Because we're gonna stop sending them down this way very shortly. So let's see. Now the problem here is this one stays red when he's in there, when this guy could really get on his way. So if I put that there, then this guy can get in and out. And then what I'm saying is that once we get this built and this built, we'll move the trains over here, and then they really shouldn't be conflicting trying to come in and out of this line. Now we could possibly move that down further, but again, because we're going to be constructing out of here in the very near future, we won't worry about that signal too much. We'll just have to babysit a bit. Make sure they're not running into each other like say. And then this is the thing too, is if you don't have any signaling, at least they do this, and then you don't have to sit there babysitting it the entire time. Yeah, gravel's a problem. We're gonna throw another truck at this. You know what? We're gonna buy that truck from over here because it's a little bit closer. All right, dumper. Fire extinguished. I didn't even know it was on fire. All right, so we'll have him come up to here. And then there. Right. All right, so that'll increase it a little bit. Yeah, because the further away these guys get, the less the demand will be. And like I said, we'll only have 2 of them as opposed to 4 working out of the same station. But we need to get this done first. And let's keep an eye on... Oh yeah, look at that. We'll prioritize getting this going. will mean that as well. And more, I think we could drop stuff off directly here. I think they would work with no electricity, but I'm going to need electricity for this unloading setup here. And let's get you to help too, since you already are. Good. So how are we doing? Are we... Yeah, we're getting closer. Our car thing is done. Our car exporting. Yeah, that's a heck of a building there. Really, is it any that much different than the others? Yeah, not really. Just a little heavier duty looking. Let me read the chats for a second. Have a sip of tea. Matthias, I'm not sure how you say your name, but I guess that's how I would do it. Matthias, yeah, because Matthias. Okay, sorry. One-way tanks will balance in one direction, right? So, in other words, if you have this tank sucking out this way, yeah, they'll balance out between the two. But what if this tank starts demanding more? It wouldn't flow back the other way. Does that make sense? So in other words, if all of a sudden this tank is empty, this one wouldn't send any back to this tank so that this one stayed working. Now, I think this is really kind of a bunch of overkill. Don't get me wrong there. You know, this especially for the fact we only have like 2 chemical plants, but you know, it's a little bit of an experiment. So that would be the idea, is that like you could increase your demand on either side of this and it would flow back and forth, where I don't think it'll flow back into the one-way thing. It only will flow the one way to balance it, which is kind of annoying, because if this is, you know, at 80%, yeah, it'll send it over this way to 80%, but I wish you could pump it out to it was 100%, you know what I mean? Like, well, you can if you put a pump there. So Mattis. Okay. So yeah, I would say Mattias, but Mattis is fine. I'll try to say that. Yeah, sometimes you have to have fun with it. And to some extent with this live stream, it's a little bit of experimental for us. Can you try to show us a view from atop that crane in the big vehicle storage? You mean like what the town looks like, or not like down there, right? But you know, so there's our city, and over there is where we're going to have this is our chemical, chemicals, right? Yeah, chemical factory, sorry. Our farm to get the corn there. We got up on the hill there, our gravel, we need to go check to make sure we have enough trees around our lumber area there, and then train line coming in. If we turn this way a bit, we've got the village and our steel mill and mechanical components way in the distance, so you can see our firehouse and clothing area. The hills over towards Nanadton. And then a bunch of cities that I stole all the people from. Our oil field. Is that what you meant? Well, good. I'm glad you've watched them. Yeah, the series is... you know what? You guys can... I mean, certainly I've stuck with it and I've tried to do a good job, but I mean, my hat's off to the devs because really, I never expected. For a game, I was just looking when I was talking to Dennis the other night. I mean, I started playing or the first episodes like a week after the game came out in early access. And you would think, there's just no way I thought, 9 months later I'd be up to 200 and, I don't know, 20 episodes or something close to that. And the map never, I'm going to knock on wood, the map never corrupted itself. They didn't make some change. I mean, a lot of devs will end up having to make a change that breaks the game save. So they must have a really robust system that's well thought out. And by the way, that really encourages me towards staying with this game because, I mean, the guys, really seem to know what they're doing as far as the fundamentals. Now, whether they make the best game ever, who knows? But this is an awful fun game for me, and I just really, hats off to them. I mean, they deserve the credit for that series because it got laggy at one point. Every time I got near a town and was going like this, it would go da-da-da. And it might have annoyed me more than it did if you were watching the video, but like it was a sign of things to come. And then all of a sudden, they fixed it. And there's a little bit of sluggishness I noticed today when I was laying down some new track. But for as big as that map is, to have that little bit of sluggishness is just really pretty impressive. So my hat's off to them. But thank you, Mattis. That's nice of you to say. I'm glad you watched the videos. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Same with all of you guys that watch the regular series. So is there? Oh no, they're all. No, they're all brought in at one point, like towards. I don't know. Even this series is getting kind of long. I don't know, 15 or 20 episodes ago, we brought all of them in about the time we built this city over here. So there's no more people, not unless they sprung up, and if there's like one person that I don't feel like finding over here or something. But for the most part, I think we got them all. At one point, I started destroying some of the towns, just like here, just so we could keep track of where we were pulling them from. So the intention with this series is to end when we become self-sufficient, which I don't think we're going to quite get there today. We may have another one and then mess around a little bit next week. But we could, I mean, we still have an hour and a half, and we don't really have that much to build. We could start thinking about what we're not building if we take a look at the economy, right? Let's just look at, it'd be better to do resources. So we're making food, and we will be making electronics, and we're making meat. Now, alcohol, I did think about this. I don't know that we're going to fire up alcohol. We would do it over here, like, because we're not, like, if you look, we're just not using alcohol because it's, like, bad for our people. So I don't think I'm going to count that towards the things that we're making, that we would possibly even export or to call ourselves self-sufficient. If we're not using it, we're self-sufficient because we're not using it. Fuel, well, we're making that. Quarried stone, gravel, asphalt, bitumen, cement, coal, bricks, steel, prefabs, boards, electrical, mechanical components, oil, iron we're making, of course. We're making livestock, crop fat. Yeah, so we might, concrete, wood, we're really making everything at this point. How are we doing with steel? Oh, good. So we're getting caught back up. But this is why I didn't start exporting it anymore. And one of the weaknesses of the game is that if you start exporting, like the train that comes here will just like export everything from underneath of you. So you really kind of need a little bit of a drop-off system like we're going to have here, where we'll sort of force the drop-off of the electrical components over to here. That's my opinion, because there's no real way to... You could just have a very small train that just underperforms in a sense, but that's kind of awkward. And even that could get ahead of you in a sense. Like, in other words, and the train will just sit there at the steel mill sucking up all the steel, and then all the trucks that are coming in here to bring it over here won't be able to get any. And that's another part of the problem too. It's like there's no way to prioritize this train to say, no, you're the last. There is no train sitting here, but if there was one, you're the last train. I want the trucks to take priority, so that way we're always keeping stuff in town. Like the best way to do it would be to drop off the stuff here and then have like a yard where you put the extra steel and then export it from there. So you kind of need like an inner loop and then an export loop, like a domestic supply loop, that the last resort of the domestic supply is to drop off to your export. And then that seems to, keep you in supply. Otherwise, you'll end up, if we told a train to come in here to export fabric, that train can steal all of the fabric, and then you just don't get any fabric over to your manufacturing or something. And there's, like here, in this case, we're splitting it up, right? This is going to come over to the other side. I'm going to do this real quick. Let's just shrink this guy for a second. See how we're doing. Oh, not quite. Oh, but we're close. Look, we got our power, right? Yep, we got power. And very shortly we'll be done this, and we can send a couple of the rail cranes over to here and speed up this. So I got that one last thing assigned here. And then do we have traffic jam? Yes. Or no? Okay, so you're in need of chain signals, aren't you? Oh, wait, why are you... Oh, because of this. See, this signal, because there's a train sitting in there, is feeding back into here, or it would feed from this crisscrossing mess. Really, I think the thing to do is actually probably just put a signal... Nah, because I wanted them to be able to do this. The problem is this. I need to figure this out. Right, so if there's a train sitting here... Yeah, let's put this up so this guy can go. I need this to be longer. Can I put these any closer? Only a little bit, I think. Can I get them far enough apart that we can get a train in there? Right, and then... Come on. Yeah, see, I don't think that's going to work. Well, this doesn't need one. Or, well, no, it does kind of, right? Come on. Yeah, I don't think they're going to fit in there. I could have built that just a bit further away. Or I can get rid of... Yeah, see, the problem is it's... If I got rid of this bit of track temporarily... Good, didn't crash the game. Right now, that's not a problem because this track was causing part of the problem. That's what we do. Oop, not a chainsaw. Alright. And now we got plenty of room because it doesn't matter because this is signaled. This is its own little block separate now. So, why are you going back and forth so fast? That was... Oh no, you went in and then the other one came back out, right? Yeah, see, now our problem is it only lets one train into here, but that means this guy's probably done. No, he didn't quite get done yet. Okay, so does that make sense? So we'll have to rebuild this one, but we might as well build all of this first and not have that traffic jam that was being caused by this. And this is, you know, I'm playing Transport Fever 2. You know, the signaling... You know what? I don't blame these guys for doing it the way they did it. It's not a bad system. And yeah, it's not necessarily a particularly smart system, but at the same time, it's not necessarily dumb, in my opinion, either. It's just... But it doesn't recognize that this is a separate path. Like, it doesn't have a sense of pathing. It just strictly blocks. So now what we've done, even though this tree is blocking the view of this one, is this is a block right here. But I actually made it two separate blocks, right? So now this is like a separate block now from this because when this cut across, it tied this whole block together. And I think that's something that confuses a lot of people that were born and raised on something more like transport fever, where it's about the path of the line. Like this train doesn't have a line like the other one does. Now somebody must be in here, right? Yeah, see, this is a weakness too, because... But then transport fever has its weaknesses in the signaling as well. So it's not like... I don't know if it's... One could certainly be called better than the other, but I'm not sure that there's some massive thing where this is so much inferior or anything like that. You know what? Looking at those boards there, let's come up here and... Yeah, I was afraid of this. Not afraid, but let's... construction. I like to put acacia trees because they kind of show up pretty well. All right, there we go. Don't want to run out of trees. Okay, it's probably enough for a little while. They grow pretty quick, especially on fast forward mode. But yeah, to me, it sort of shows. Now, I have let these like run out of wood before, like a little bit extra, so that they go to their full extent. So then you can kind of see where the acacia trees start and the regular old pine trees stop. Like if we didn't do what we did, they'd run out of wood at the furthest extent of the circle that surrounds them. That's all right. I'm not too worried about it right now. But that is an easy kind of thing to forget on a map, especially because for me, I tend to put the lumber up out of the way someplace for obvious reasons, and then kind of forget about it. All right, let's check. This guy looks like he's got a source of workers is empty. So what is this? Do we have no one assigned? Yeah, you know what? Let's... Now, what are you doing? You've got some in-town... Yeah, I'm going to specify you to this, but then the other thing we can probably do is stop people from going here. That is this bus stop or this train stop here. So that they won't go into there. That might be stealing a few workers. We did just dump people in, so they tend to go get all their needs met before they go off to work. So you can cause yourself issues. You know what? We want to make sure. Let's look at our economy. I want to make sure we're not buying any clothing. No, good. So we must be dropping it off relatively well. This alcohol purchase is probably from over there in Nanadton. And then eventually we'll be making our own chemicals and electrical components. Now this year, our meat's going up. Okay. What are we doing with meat? Do we have meat in here? Oh yeah, we got a lot of meat. So who's out of meat? You're not. There's only so many places they could go for food, right? Where are we at? You are purchasing meat over here. Okay, so why don't we get another... Come over here and buy it. I don't think we have a refrigerated vehicle. Yeah, let's get over here. I don't see any other refrigerated ones here. We are going to buy refrigeration. Let's say from here to here. Yeah, I guess you could wait there. All right. So that should keep an extra truck there. And then we could check here just for... there's two. This one started... Well, we put all these big buildings in there. This one started to get overloaded. Yeah, this one could end up buying meat too, I would guess. Now, how many... Let's see what we have here for refrigerated. Is that... No. Oh wait, you know what? We have this. We have plenty of meat there. It's doing a balancing act. Because we do actually have a meat locker at that one. How about you? Yeah, we got a truck there. So this is a lot closer to the meat factory. So the hope is that you can get, like, you don't want to be too far away from this to where you have to drive and can get back before you have to buy more meat. And I think, you know, the rate we're using meat over here is faster than this guy can, like, leave here. Yeah, see, he's already back with 8 tons of meat, so he should be in good shape. So, but in other words, like, he can't get there and back in time for the meat not to run out. So you get these little spurts of meat usage. Yeah, let's look at the economy again. What else are we? Yeah, see, there was that little bit of meat. So we might have just ended that, and that's how inefficient we were. But the good news is we're making meat up here, and hopefully putting that second truck on there will do it. Now, one of the problems is by the time you get all the stuff dropped off here, you start running out of parking spaces to be doubling everything up. So that's where you really want to talk about maybe you need something like this where you would put an actual meat locker in the vicinity and have that well supplied, right? Like right now, this is well supplied. We could have a truck coming off of one of these that delivers. So that's when you need a distribution point, because you just can't have too many trucks in here. So if we had a meat locker with 2 or 3 trucks going to it over here, this truck wouldn't have to go so far back and forth. But I don't really plan on building this map out too much further, like I was saying, once we get self-sufficient. And I never really intended to become another series in a sense, like, because I wanted Saturdays to be where we kind of did whatever we want. As a matter of fact, going forward, I'm thinking of kind of just making it to play whatever game I'm playing that week and see what your guys' thought is on that, right? Now, or we could stick with this. I mean, it's obviously a matter of opinion, or we just start up every Saturday and say, well, what do we want to do? And I give you guys a few options, and, you know, like, because I've been playing some Planet Zoo, and I wouldn't mind playing that, right? I've been, you know, not too much. I mean, I play enough games, but when I'm, you know, early in the morning on the days that I'm not recording, I've been playing a little bit of that game, which is fun. I didn't think I would like it as much, but because I got a Steam gift card for Christmas, I said, oh, what the heck? I'm you know, relatively tight. I could spend way too much money on games. I have to limit myself a bit. Oh, you know what we can do now? Let's that guy's moving. Let's find the ones that aren't moving and send them over to here. That guy's. Of course, you block my view. Good. All right, so now we need to fire this up, which means getting the things over there that they need, which is, let's take this bus. Knew we'd use this bus eventually. Oh, you know what? And I see a cistern. Yeah, we'll get a cistern and a bus, and so the cistern. Yeah, I guess the best place for him is all the way over here. I don't think we'll use that much fuel. All right, that's our fuel storage. And I want you to... Usually this one I put right into here for whatever reason. I know I cut myself off there, but yeah, Planet Zoo, anyway. And then unload fuel and wait, and you can get started. And you are a bus. Yeah, we can eliminate these because you're sitting in a depot. Right, and why don't you come from this one? It feels closer, even though it's not. And then you're going to get directly in and out there, but don't bring students. And again, I don't think you have to uncheck that, but certainly don't want them to bring students anyway. And we'll see if one bus is enough. We had it there for the time being, and then we're going to need to get the other things from here to there. So let's just open this up so I can think about what the other things are without stress. So we need steel, prefabs, bricks. I don't think we need bricks. I think we're just going to do steel and prefabs and electrical components. And if we need to, we'll do something more in the future. So that's 2 open halls and a covered hall. And I'll check to make sure that's true. Are we building any bridges is the only reason we would need bricks. We'll check after we get these guys going. Well, you know what? The electrical components we're just going to purchase. And then maybe the truck that's running around doing boards, that's wasting a lot of energy, can come by here on its own. Yeah, let me just shrink this one out of the way. But we're definitely going to want steel. All right, you can get started. And then we're definitely going to want prefab panels. All right, and he's waiting. And then there should be a lumber truck. Yeah, not you. So you're going to Village Open Storage. What are you doing? Yeah, see, these guys are kind of running around doing not a whole lot of anything. So you're going to Village Cargo Station 3. What are you? Yeah, and you were waiting there. Now you're waiting. Yeah, see, they're kind of waiting and not doing anything. And then I'm wondering if we... Why don't we get this one to drop off boards. Yeah, we'll just have them do it to there, right? And then why don't you stop waiting here? Do we want them waiting here? No, not really. But the other thing to do is to turn this up to like 50%, a little more, so that we can then do this. A little bit less. All right, so that they don't overflow on these other things. And then we need to purchase... Yeah, the slightest amount of electrical components we can. All right, good. We got fuel coming in. We'll have steel here, I hope. All right, why don't we have... Did we mess something up? Oh, are they just on their way? Okay, we'll see. Close the vehicles before we should be getting out. Look, the boards guy got there right quick. Yeah, where is our steel guy? I would expect them to have been here by now if I didn't mess up. Now you're the bus. Yeah, why do I only have one? What did I do? Did I not? Oh, did I send them right to here? Oh, no, wait. Here. Here. All right. So you're heading there now. But what's going on? Yeah, why? I'm a little confused. Yeah, why is it not? Something's happening wrong here. Hey, River. Welcome. Or, hey, River. Alias, welcome. Let me read the tweets, but let me figure this out. Do we have power, right? Yeah, we have power. We're not getting stuff into here from here. All right, let's see. Let's close this and close this. Come to here and here. All right, and we're just going to repay for this, and hopefully... Yeah, because steel and board should definitely be able to get in there. Yep, there we go. See, I've had that happen before, and I don't know if restarting the game would have fixed it, but for some reason, like, that connection didn't count, which is not good. But there we go. So now, all right, we don't want this guy auto searching in the long run. So let's, mostly because they don't do a very good job of, like, staying out of each other's way. Yeah, so now we didn't get gravel. We're going to do this one. And this one. Oh, doesn't connect. Okay, that one needs to be completed. All right, that would make sense. So what do we got going on here? So now we've got too much gravel being dropped off here. Okay, well, we got, this was happening earlier. Yeah, vehicles are getting stuck right here. And I'm not sure what to do about that. Right? Like, there's no reason for him to just be sitting here. He should be going in, but it's like he's waiting for something else to happen. So hopefully, I'm kind of curious to see if that straightens itself out in a minute. Like, maybe when this project gets done or something. Let's purchase a dumper. I think one might be enough. All right, and you're going to go from here. Gravel can't go into one of these. Oh, no, gravel is going to go to there. Get rid of this one. All right, for now, we'll just do one. And then, did you clear yourself up? Yeah, see, something, now this, see, and then this, there's something buggy in the latest update. And it's even causing vehicles to, like, sit at construction sites. And it's really kind of strange when they do. All right, there we go. So this guy's going to start hauling some gravel for us, and that should take... but see how this guy's just sitting here, and I've caught them. Oh, look, did something burn? Oh, no, that's where we were going to put our cable thing. Yeah, you know what? Well, I'll leave that there. But it makes me feel like a building burnt down when I see something like that. Not too good. All right, so now we should be, look at this, we're almost ready to go. We just need the train tracks are going to be our holdup. Well, we're working on that as diligently as we can. Yeah, so let's see. Oh, road doesn't connect. That's why I'm down here working on it. All right, how about that one? All that's done. This is already being worked on by somebody. Yeah, so this road needs to be completed, and that can be worked on, but you know what, we need to get, we got power here? Yep. Okay, so these aren't pumping because these aren't ready. This is pumping, and then these need to get done. How are you? Yeah, we can give you more stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure how much that problem over there is really slowing us down or not. Okay, I hear you. I'll stop trying to assign it until the road's built. All right, everybody's working on everything. Are we getting people into our firehouse? Yes, very nice. We have the maximum. Good to see. Yeah, so we're real ready, other than we don't have our train lines done here. How are we doing? Did we take care of our traffic? Yes. Yep, so we're plugging away out to here. And that's going to take a while, too. But that's okay. The exporting that stuff is not super critical. Now, how are we doing? One of the other things we can do is we're really doing quite well. Like, there was a suggestion last week that we do this so that we don't waste the food, but we're really doing extremely well in producing really a good amount for us at this point without needing to actually warehouse it. And part of the problem was I didn't want to, like, I should have built this like a little bit over one way or the other, so I could have put a warehouse in right here, but then that would be tight anyway, trying to fit it in with the passenger lines already there. And I just didn't think it through quite well enough. But this is set up so that we can come in here, drop off bread, and then pick up the bread from here. But every time I look, we're just really well timed with our bread deliveries, and we're not purchasing any bread from the outside world. Let's see, we're in March, right? This year, right? So we're doing really well. The meat, that was our meat that we fixed the meat problem, and then gravel and asphalt is when I just rebuilt that thing, that connection to the factories. And let me read. I think I missed a chat or two a while ago now. Now, what are we doing here? Oh, we're just really slowly constructing. Yeah, because you got 4 workers. What do we have? Yeah, well, we've got people assigned to go there. Can't participate in any sport. Why don't you just go right out your front door? And then this is going to be a thing, too, when it comes to, like, football versus tennis. I'm not sure if the guys are partial to football, but I really wish they would make this 2 max, because you end up with what we saw. Like a staff doesn't sit here waiting, so you end up with this, like, delay before another staff gets in there. But, yeah, now the tennis can only do 4, which makes sense. And 22 would make more sense, wouldn't it? And really, can't you have more people participate, like the referees? And I mean, you would think you might have fans. Because is it just about playing the sport, or is it about also watching? I mean, I know here in America, like, soccer or football is not the most popular sport, but it's getting more popular. But even like pickup games where the kids are playing, I mean, there's always parents and other people, and I know a friend of mine lived in like a area where like there was more Mexicans that worked, and they would like go down to the local high school football thing like after work on a Tuesday, and man, they'd have like all their families would be out there. They'd be having like little barbecues and I don't know. To me, it seems like you could definitely ramp up the number of people that would go into the sports playground, in other words, like to get sports entertainment. If it's about exercise, then why don't we have a gym? Where you could go to a gym and get exercise. Okay, so I'm going to go way back on some comments here. Did I ever think about putting oil pumps between the crop fields? I'm assuming you mean over here. Like I have oil pumps here and here. Like, do you mean like here? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, putting oil pumps between the crop fields. I mean, I did think about going through here, but I wanted the crop thing to be more direct. I could have spaced it out, I guess, a little bit more, but I didn't level, sort of shoved this field in. I could have pushed this field over to left a little more room to get in this way versus doing this around the back. So I'm not sure if that's what you meant, but yes and no, if that's where you mean, right? Helen of Troy challenge. I mean, sending 1,000 ships to the east. Yeah. One thing you would never explain, this is Mattis, where could you find at least one thing you never explained, where I could find at least, is why you electrify the tracks in the later build stage. Because, sorry, Mattis, yeah, that's sort of an old topic in a way, like from many, many moons ago in the series. The reason is because, let's just look at here. If I electrified this, it makes every single one of them, like they come out here, they lay the track, and then they go back in and get more materials to electrify the track. So what would happen is like he's working on this project right now, right? And what's going to happen is he's going to get done that project, and he's going to continue working on the next set of track. But if this was like electrified track, then he's not going to continue working right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Now he is going to continue working because, like here, like this guy would turn around and go back and then come back and electrify this section. Like he wouldn't continue laying track out to here at that point. So you can imagine when they're this close, it doesn't make too much difference. But like when you're all the way up around here and you end up with these like little short segments, you know, like he would come up to here, stop, electrify this, come up to here, you know, build this track, go all the way back, electrify. Now here it wouldn't matter too much because he'd be running into here, which will end his process. But there, does that answer it? It's, you know, twice as tedious in a way, but that's the reason. Now in this case, we haven't been doing any electrified vehicles. So, oh, you know what? We really probably could have used, well, this guy's going to head out someplace. Well, he could get up, pick up fuel here, and then we should put a fuel thing, I think, along here somewhere. Probably about as far as we can reach with normal construction would be good. We can worry about that later. But does that, I think that was the answer. I think that's the question to your answer, or the answer to your question. Is there a way to manage export, sending stuff for export to export hub, not exporting directly from the steel mill? Yes. You could keep, if you keep the food production as low as to fit one is kilometers is, I'm assuming that's kilometers. Yeah, the problem is, you know, 2 or 3 kilometers only, what, the width of the screen here, maybe this. So it's not terribly realistic to keep the food production that close to everything you do. Like, really don't necessarily want to hold another food production near, you'd almost, I mean, towns could be closer than 2 kilometers, like, but this is probably about as close as I would ever tend to want to put a town. And I think this is 2 or 3 kilometers apart, right? And that's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm almost considering these like twin cities at that point. But again, it depends on your map and how you're trying to build it out. So yeah, you could, yeah, if you keep them close. But then, yeah, after you go over, like, say, 5 kilometers in that range, like when we're all the way over here, you know, we're okay in getting back and forth, but it's just, you know, it's just a bit too far from there to there without another kind of ramped up distribution at some point, which is fine. It kind of gives the trains a real purpose at that point, because then if you're talking about distributing, rather than do it with trucks, if you're really building up your map, that's when you want your trains going. So, and I know I'm jumping from topic to topic, just sort of letting some time pass here. Let's see. Oh, you guys aren't doing anything. That's right, because you were working down there. Boy, we're really, yeah, we'll get them doing some odds and ends. I think we're going to be kind of waiting. Oh, look, we got our forklift thing we can do, or at least think about. Now, what do you would think this should be connected, right? I'm not sure what I was thinking there. What was I thinking there? I mean, is there a reason that I didn't connect this? I have no idea. All right, well, let's just keep going. I'll try to remember what the heck I did. Maybe one of you guys remember what the heck I did, which is one of the benefits to doing this, because when you mess up, people tend to remind you what you messed up, which is actually a good thing. I think I had someone kind of apologizing this week on the regular series for the comment. Oh, I hope you don't think we're backseat drivers. Well, no, I don't really look at it that way. I really appreciate the help. I mean, obviously some people can be critical, but that's, I mean, heck, you know, like sometimes you need critical advice. Hey, you're doing this wrong, or I would do it different. I respect that. This is, you know, in many cases it's half dozen of one, 6 of the other. So yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to assign this guy all the way over to here. I think this is pretty well assigned up. Guys, I think we're just waiting on some tracks to be done at this point. Right? And if we get those tracks done, and I'm not too worried. as far as ending it today, because we're at 4 o'clock, we have another hour. Are we going to become self-sufficient by the end of the day? I'll get your guys' opinion. Now, what do you... Okay, so you hopefully didn't complete your task. Now, let's cancel that task so you go back home. And then we'll get you to do this, which will put you on that track. So this one's done. Just for the sake of those two not running into each other that much, we'll send this guy just to work on that bit. Right? Because that needs to be done just as well. And this way they're not bumping into each other too much until they get out of this circle thing. Yeah, and this guy is probably going to want to reverse back here, but then he should be able to return home and finish up this. They can get in here and get that done. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are satisfied that we're like already self-sufficient or close. We can talk about what can we actually do in here that we can't do much without people. We could start getting the vehicles in place. All right, we're not quite done all of the construction we would want to do. And this one we're not going to do. We're going to put a vehicle from here to there. Why don't we do that, right? That'll be in anticipation. And the next Saturday... Like I said, I'd kind of like to turn Saturday into a do whatever. I know quite a few of you look forward to workers and resources. So it doesn't mean we can't do workers and resources, but I don't know if I want to get stuck in... I don't know if I want to get stuck into like a series like this of just doing the workers and resources if we're going to do the Saturdays. And I might even want to cut the Saturdays down to maybe every other Saturday. I'm not real sure. Like I said, I have to cut something, but I don't want to cut anything. It's not a matter of my desire to do that much less of the YouTube. It's just more of a realistic time crunch kind of situation in life where I'm just not getting those other little things done in life that I need to and just need to. And I'm thinking, since we're not doing that much, so what other improvements would we want to make? And I was going through the comments before I re-distracted myself. This guy should auto find those two roads if he hasn't already. Yep, he already did. Good. We'll get that. Why not get that graveled all the way around? I think it'll look better. All right, let me slow down a minute. Hello, Off the Rails. Welcome, by the way. I didn't even, if you said hello, I didn't even see you, did you? You probably did, and I'm sorry I missed it. If you did, it was a while ago, I think. No, okay. Well, hello, Off the Rails. Welcome. Yeah, the sports mods, that would be kind of nice. Like I said, even if it's just possible to up the numbers, then again, I guess you'd want to make it a little bit bigger. I mean, I don't even know. Like, it's really the building scale and size is not terribly accurate in a sense anyway. We've talked about that before. Like, these buildings are taller than the mountains, or as darn near as tall as that mountain over there. So it's not like scale is a real critical thing. And then if you wanted to talk about scale, like people talk about how much I level, but go look at the cities of the world. They don't, I mean, yeah, there's some that are built on hills. I'm sure in Europe there's definitely some, but most cities are built on big flat plains near rivers. They're not, and like there is no flat plain in here next to the river. It just goes right from the river up until, like, the area that I live in, you know, it's near a river called the Delaware River. It's not too far. And there's like a big flat area like this, and we don't have mountains like this, but then, you know, gradually over miles, where I'm American, you know, goes up. So like you're talking like from the time that you really even get any kind of elevation away from the river, you're talking about 20 kilometers, you know, 15 miles, something like that, before you get, you know, to where it's not quite as flat. Like, anyway, So anyway, I'll read some more chats. Oil derricks between the crop fields. Okay, why? Is there oil near the crop fields? And I don't think we really need any more oil, but I'm not sure why we would put oil derricks in between the crop fields. You just mean like build a farm over here where there is oil? Like, yeah, I mean, I guess if that's could certainly work. It would spread out your farm a little bit to make it, like this is a really nice farm layout over here where you're centralized around 14 big fields. If you tried to squeeze in, oil derricks. Oh, what did I do? Pause it? Why did I do that? I don't want to pause it. I don't even know how did I accidentally hit the space bar or something? I don't know. In any event, like this is a really nice layout, so it would tend to spread this out a bit more. I'm not sure that there's but certainly if you're in a situation in an area, and yeah, go for it, right? Now, the other thing I would say is, I don't think you're going to have the ideal spacing for your oil to take advantage of the oil, and you're not going to also have the ideal spacing for your crop, but there's certainly no reason you couldn't squeeze crop fields in here, right? Yeah, I mean, it would be an interesting thing to do. Yeah, so I think the thing that I want to do, besides try to get through all the chats, just to make sure I answered you guys. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like when I mouse over a certain building like that, that's what Off the Rails comments talking about. See how, I'm not sure what that's about. Is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. Well, let's start getting the trucks in place. Now, it's against the rules to export power on this map. So that was one of the things, because exporting power is like too cheaty to get started. So we made a rule that we can't export the power. We're doing pretty well with just our one power plant. We can import power, but we just can't export it. And that was just to keep it a little more on the level, I guess you could say, because exporting power is a bit OP of a way to start, right? And we already started with oil, which is also a bit of a, in some senses, OP way of starting. So even though we started here in the middle, hard difficulty, making it as hard as we can, yeah, just go for some oil exports, you'll make some easy money, or go for power export, you'll make some easy beginning money. But if you want to make it harder on yourself, I would say you could say no exporting oil and no exporting that. And that's going to make starting in the middle of a hard map just that much harder at that point. Because otherwise, even on hard, if you start close to a Soviet in particular, because then you can get as many rubles. The only reason, for those of you who might not know this, that if you start over by the NATO, then it's a lot harder, because eventually you're going to run out of money and you're not going to have a way to get more rubles, and you can't buy all the vehicles with the American dollars. So if we were to come in here and look at what we can purchase, now again, I'm sure there might be mods down the road, but you can't get all of the vehicles. Like if we open up, that's the rubles. Look, you can only get this of the vehicles for the dollars, which means you're going to have to export dollars at some point. And that's what I did on the regular series. I started, where were we? The regular series, nope, not up here. Yeah, this is where Moscow is. Yeah, this is where I started the regular series, which made it a lot harder, right? Because we could get some money to kind of hold ourselves, but we really needed to get that first road. That's why we have a road that kind of comes right up here and goes to this export that was like a big challenge when the original series started, was to get up to exporting there. So in any event, yeah, that's no power. Sorry, off the rails. I've missed it. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we were talking about that. You might have. They go back to the fire. Well, sometimes when they go into a building, I think that they destroy the. I think that might be the way I've lost some vehicles. Like if they pull in here and then the building crashes, I think it may get rid of your fire truck. At least I don't have any other explanation. It seems like I'm missing fire trucks. Okay, now what are we doing here? We're just causing everything to grind to a complete halt. Let's just cancel both of these. Otherwise, we're never going to get workers in there, right? So we kind of have created our own worst nightmare. And then this bus. Yeah, so see, this is another bug that they seem to have introduced recently, where these construction vehicles are acting really goofy. Now let me see if I can get it to do the really, I'm going to go to regular time for a second. Just so we can see it. Like if I send him back to here, he might like cut across the landscape. He may not follow the roads. Look at this. You guys will see a little hint of that. Look at that. Is he going to drive right through the buildings? I hadn't noticed. Yep, he's going to go right through the warehouse. He's going to go. All right. So anyway, yeah. So there's something going on there. And then if we send him here, he just sits here and waits. So there's something going on with they broke something when it comes to that. Yeah, I'm not sure what I said, Proof Bear, that said it's a game you can download, map, or create by yourself. Oh, was that from when I was talking about the flatness? Yeah. No, I don't mind. People comment on my leveling things, and my response is that, well, the map and the scale of the buildings isn't really. It's just really not that accurate. In other words, like in real life, you wouldn't need to do that much leveling because you're probably not going to build your town on top of a hill. That's all. But you're right. You could absolutely build a flatter map and then not level so much, or vice versa. If that's what I'm guessing that's what you meant. Oh, did we lose something in the fire? Fire extinguished. Building is on fire. Okay. Or you just mean that as a general statement. And welcome, Proof Bear. I don't think I said hello. Okay. Yeah, so that's the whole fire stations burning down. I think it would be nice with the fire stations. I was thinking about this, and maybe even some other buildings. Like, how you have like the question marks on the vehicles when they're having problems, like if they can't find their route. I think it would be nice if the buildings, maybe something you could turn on and off, where you would have like a flag over the building, or even messages like saying there's no people in this building. So that you can kind of do like that scan of the map thing and say, oh, wait a minute, why don't I have workers here? It'd be nice if you could turn that on and off. All right, so what are we doing? Well, let's start setting this up, at least to get the vehicles over here while we're building our train tracks. And now, did we get people here? Yeah, okay, so let's reassign this guy to build this road, and then we'll get this guy to build this way. Right, do we have everything we need? Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be our bugaboo as far as getting done today. All right, so what do we want to bring into here? We're going to have oil pumped in, which we already have, and we're going to need chemicals. So we need to get let's get 2 trucks for chemicals, even though I think that might be overkill. All right. Let's leave this guy open. Good, we can use that guy that we already bought. And leave this one open over here. And then all right, we'll just have 2 trucks running chemicals. One from each of our chemical plants. You know what, I think I want to go right into the chemical plant. Right, and then you wait for chemicals, and then both of you come in here and wait to unload your chemicals. All right, and we might as well get them started because they'll be waiting every place that we don't have stuff anyhow. We might be able to fire up that chemicals. All right, so now this should be taken care of, except we need forklifts. No fuel. Okay, well, we have cisterns. If there's one thing we have lots of cisterns. For those of you who didn't watch the beginning of this live stream, and I don't mean today, I mean like for many episodes, we had like 150 cisterns. That was how we made money for the beginning of this map, driving up to our export. All right, so you guys, you come over here. Now, I'm assuming you can wait in here without causing problems. We'll find out. And we can even kind of guess in a second. There we go. So this guy will have fuel shortly, and then add new connection. Okay, so I want you to go from here. Can't find path. Forklift garage can't be. So we need another. Okay, so this is. So you can't go through one of these into there. You'd need another garage here. Well, that's even less impressive if that's the case. Right, and there's no way to attach this to that. So we need another garage. What does that go from here to here? I know Off the Rails did his thing, but it's been a few weeks since, or a week or two since I watched it. And I'm not sure that he had set this exact up this way anyway. So, yeah, so that's, yeah, forklift garage can't be assigned, and you can't find a path to there. Yeah, this is, yeah, I'm very unimpressed with. All right, so if we buy a new vehicle, that's not going to make any difference, right? Let's get 2 of them. Because why not? And that didn't make any difference to us assigning. So we need a forklift to go from here to, I guess, there. But we need a garage there. Like, why not just build this all as one piece at that point? All right, so can we do that? Okay, well, that's a little bit better. Glad that worked out. Now, can we assign that, I hope? Right? Now, sometimes you can even get away with, yeah, it can't be assigned. All right, well, we'll see if that fixes it. In the meantime, we'll go about getting regular old trucks, which are reliable and less complicated in a way, or at least I'm familiar enough with them. All right, so now let's talk about our electronics assembly. So we're going to need mechanical components to come into here. We're going to have plastics coming from here, and we're going to need electrical components. So our electrical components are going to be over here. So we're going to have to take a truck from this factory or warehouse. I guess we should go from the warehouse, even though that leaves us a little bit less over to here. And then we're going to need mechanical components. So let's go ahead and purchase. We'll just ramp this up a little bit slower. I knew about the 2 chemical factories. That's why I put 2 of them on there, just in case. So 2 more covered halls. We'll just do this one step at a time. All right, so you are going to come from here and go to here. For now, I'm just going to tell you to wait, because I don't know that anybody else is going to be going there. And you're going to get electrical components. All right, and wait. Yeah, and then you can start. If nothing else, until we actually get people working here, we'll just go slow, right? All right, so now you... Now here's a question. Yeah, so you are going to go... Oh, wait, you know what? We need to add one more thing to that other guy. So you are going to go from there to here, and then back to here. All right? Yeah, this is what... So this is going to be a continuous loop. And you can wait here just in case there's none. I don't know if that's going to cause a problem, but... All right, and then what I want to do is this truck, once we get done here, right, so we're going to come over here, drop off stuff, cargo station, and then we're going to go to here and unload the rest, right, and don't wait at either of your stops once you get stuff. Right, and you're already started. So then here, for now, let's limit the amount. And we'll say we want 50% mechanical components and 50% electrical components, and nothing else in there. And that's where we'll export those things from. So what they'll do is they'll drop off. Now the other thing is we can also have trucks come in here and pick stuff up, or we can talk about... Okay, let's just cancel this one for now. Yeah, that's the problem when you cross your... All I want to do is construct this little bit. Yeah, so do we get people in here? No, because then your bus sits there for too long. All right, so that should be... Let's keep focused on this, and we'll reassign that in a minute. Or just do we assign them something else to do? Fire destroyed a building. Okay. Why did it destroy that building? Need fire trucks. See, I don't know what's going on there. Look, we got 8 firefighters. Why didn't we... What was that? That was a construction office that I'm not too worried about. But let's get these guys 2 more fire trucks. Right, and then again, yeah, I don't think I'm going to rebuild that. That was a construction office, I'm almost certain. Well, it would tell us. Road Vehicles Depot. Oh, so we lost all our... This is the construct... So we lost all our cisterns and whatever was sitting in there. I don't know. I don't understand why we would have lost that building. Look, we got plenty of firefighters. We should have had fire trucks in there. I don't think we lost another building over here. Oh, well. Not sure what to say about that. Okay, so the plastics factory should have chemicals coming over here. It should have everything it needs if we add the chemicals in. And then we should start exporting chemicals directly into here. Why is that attached to that? Or plastics, I mean. Plastics into here, and then hopefully this will fix that problem, and we'll get plastics into here. So now we need to get steel into here, and we don't really have a good way of importing that from a road cargo station. So let's get two. Yeah, we got a few parking spaces here. So what are you doing? You're the one we just did. I just kind of want to. Yeah, we could limit the amount. And you're just going to be electrical components. But this is where I like to tend to maybe use crops. All right, let's run this all the way up. And then I don't necessarily need this full of electrical components, right? It's like enough's enough. Like, yeah, half full. And then you will be electronics, and we already got that set up. And then you will be plastics, and again, we just don't need that much for what we're doing. We'll just let them fill halfway up. All right, so we have this truck, and again, we're getting ahead of this. So we need to get steel into here, which, yeah, it would have been nice if we had allowed for that. But we'll at least get one truck, maybe. Oh, and I close that. You had an excavator? Yeah, they seem to have made some bugs, John. Yeah, it's because I got done praising them, right? Well, they are doing a good job. And then they stay on top of this. And it is the test version. And yeah, so let's do... No, we need open hull. Open hull. Right. And you are going to bring steel in. I guess we should just really come from the steel factory. No reason not to. And then you're going to come right into the factory. Steel. Steel. Yeah, you should really probably wait to load and wait to unload. All right, so now at least we'll have some steel coming into here. Chemicals. Yeah, we're going to need another truck to bring chemicals here. We really probably need to consider a chemical warehouse over on this end of town. All right, so let's do that. And that's going to need a covered hall. And I'm not sure. Yeah, there's no place at this point. Where's our chemicals? Yeah, no place we're gathering up the chemicals, is there? No, which really would be potentially a good thing. So let's assume that we're going to definitely get people to that one. Even if, because remember, we're a little bit far away, so we're going to bring chemicals. Yeah, this, I'm not really liking this too much. Wait for chemicals just so you don't end up driving all over the world. But eventually I don't want to have, like, we really kind of need a better, I don't want to have so many vehicles over here waiting in this thing. All right, wait there, wait there. All right, so that will get us the stuff we need into here. Now here, we do have these yards. Now I'm wondering, does anyone remember what I was doing here? Why I thought this was a good idea? All right. Or was I thinking of the export thing at that point? Like where we'd have a truck come out of here. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so anyway, let's see what this guy needs. I might leave him open because he needs a bunch of stuff. So plastics. Yeah, we need to get plastics in there. So let's just come here as we go down each one. Covered hall, plastics. We need mechanical components, which we probably could have that guy just dropping them off, right? Is there any reason we wouldn't just take it? Let's take it for at least starters, because I don't think we need that much of this stuff. And same thing with our electrical components. We'll just grab the guy that's already running around. Electronics should be Oh, no, you know what? We weren't going to put electrical components over here. We were going to put... Sorry. We were going to put electronics. So electrical components will get another covered hall. Oop, we already have it open. Fabric is going to be brought in by the train over to this one. So again, we'll just run the crops up because I don't need this thing full of fabric. It's just a waste. 50%. It's going to be way more than enough fabric. Right, so the train will bring the fabric in, and then steel. Yeah, we're going to need steel, so I would think... Why wouldn't we attach or just bring the steel into here? Now, steel will probably use a little bit more, so let's just get 2 open hulls for steel, because why not? So we had this guy needs to come in and bring in... Yeah, you can get load plastics from there and bring them down to this road cargo station. Right, so there goes our plastics guy. And then mechanical and electrical components. Or electrical components will be this guy, and he will drive... Yeah, see, this is where we're getting a little bit jammed up with our lack of good planning. Yeah, so right now we might be creating a bit of a traffic jam, but I'm okay with that. We'll get this... Right, so that guy will be bringing electrical components and then sitting there. And then these 2 guys can do the same thing, which will be get us some steel. And again, are we better off doing it this way, or are we better off... That should kind of fill up this... yeah, wait. All right, and then... It's probably just as easy to redo the thing than to go find him in his... Right, start. Alright, so what am I missing? I don't think we're going to get it done this week, guys. So we'll come back at the beginning of next week at least, which is good. I don't want to be too rushed about it. And I'm not in a... I don't care what game we play as a general statement. I just don't necessarily want to get stuck into like a 27 series live Let's Play. I've had the urge over the last months to do something else at times. And again, let me know what you guys think of that. Yeah, I've been crashing a lot. I've been crashing a lot when I go to delete things. Like, so if I like to build if you build this and it connects with an asphalt road, I don't really want an asphalt road, so I go back and delete the road, and then it'll just crash the game. So yeah, they definitely didn't do quite as good a job with this one as they have with some of the other things. All right, so let's see. Can we get this guy out here? I think we're going to have to just babysit this. Right, and just, if we run out of workers and the bus isn't back and forth. Now, the other thing is, since we're really going to be running out of things to do, why don't we... How many buses do we have in here? 2. Or are we just being cheap? Why don't we buy another bus? Yeah, I'll buy it over here. I don't think I've ever bought the school bus looking one. Let's try the school bus looking one. And this one will take from here. So this will like, yeah, so look, we already have the problem. It's like as soon as that guy goes out there, he stops the world. All right, let's get started. So we'll put 2 buses on here since this is like the critical function. And then as soon as this guy runs out of workers, we need to cancel this job. Because, like, say he's out of workers, and there'll never be another worker showing up again. A bit annoying. Yeah, the signals on the roads aren't real smart. If there's a train anywhere, even if he was heading over here, this would happen. And I don't know. I don't mind. I guess I wouldn't do it. I would just auto-purchase it at some point. But the 2 buses, hopefully that'll help us a bit. And we should... Yeah, can we get this going? Why don't we have oil here yet? Got power there. What was the... Destination is full. Got power here. No power. Ah. Somebody didn't design the rest of the line. Alright, so... Okay. Okay. Well, why don't we hook this up to power? And see, our construction guys are starting to sit around and do nothing. Right, and that should get power to there and there at least. So then, what else do we need? We have wood and crops and... Yeah, how are we getting... Oh, no, we don't have... Never mind. So we need to get a few more trucks around here. And we should have... So we'll get 2 covered hauls, 1 for each. 2 more covered hauls, or open hauls to get wood. Right? And then chemicals is what we produce. And then oil should come in when we get that done. So let's come back to here and purchase 2 open hauls and 2 covered hauls. And we'll open them all up. Right, and then these guys are going to go from here to here for wood. All right, from here to here. Nope, no. To here. So we should start getting wood in there, and then the covered hauls are going to go get corn from here, or crops. Bring it up to here. Let's do this one. Right, crops. Start. So that should get this going. Now, we don't have any workers. And that's because we're not telling the workers to go there. Now, yeah, I really don't think we're going to be able to send them to both of these. Let's see. Well, we can definitely get them to there, but there's no building connection. It's close enough. Well, we could send them directly into here with a bus, right? So let's get 2 more. How many workers do we need? 50. I really don't think we necessarily need to. Yes, we'll get 2 chav Bs. And they will go, one will go from this one to here. And the other one will go from this one to here. So let's start this guy. They're not going to end up spaced out anyway, but it makes me feel better to space them out to get started. All right, and we'll just give this guy a little bit of time before we send him on his way. And I could probably do unload or load, like get rid of one of those, depending on what they're doing. All right, so that should start bringing people up to there. And then, do we want to put another bus on here? No, we're getting some people in. So we just don't have any wood yet. Is there a particular reason? I have been. So you are waiting at that stop there. Did I? Oh, because this didn't get completed. Okay, well, there we go. Another assignment for our guy here. Now, again, we could ramp all of this stuff up and improve the efficiency, but I'd like to get at least one vehicle going and see. Like I said, I really think this is kind of overkill for how much plastics and whatnot we're actually going to make. But we do have chemicals. Yeah, we got oil. So the only thing we need is wood and crops. And that's in this one. This one should have everything. Is there a reason? Is there? Oh, because this one's not done either. Okay. There we go. Good. Okay, so that should get our chemicals going. And then we do have... We have trucks lined up here to take chemicals out to places, right? Yep. So they're waiting. Now that's a problem because what are you doing? Oh, you're trying to build. All right, let's take one of these guys off of wait. All right, so in other words, we're trying to build that connection, but we can't get in there because there's 2 trucks sitting there already. Instead of going up to this one where it's got 4 people. Good, so that should get our chemical production going, and that's it for over here. Now we got fabrics. Yeah, and I think what I was thinking of is we would take some of the chemicals up to here and then put a train that would then feed this guy with chemicals in. So is there a reason? Yeah, let's hold off on the trains until we're a little more done with the tracks. Now you, all right, hopefully you're going to keep a steadier supply of workers. We forgot to babysit this. Yeah, well, it's the leveling is the leveling. I'm going back on the comments a little bit. Ghostbusters in the skies. Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure they'll work on it. And like you said, it's hard to. I mean, how many hours have I played, and we collectively as a group play? And I think that there's at least at times they've watched my videos, and I say that because. Oh, now why can't you get back? Oh, what happened here? All right, you know what? We're just gonna purchase that because I'm getting tired of this guy's shenanigans. All right, so oh yeah, so I guess it makes sense he couldn't go back in that way. And what's this guy doing? Oh, he's done. So we're... Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention. All right, so we're gonna do this and bite the bullet on getting them to get away from this road, so that way we can start assigning things. But yeah, we'll get some of the tracks done before we're worried about getting chemicals over to here. And then what else will we need? So we'll need crops over to here as well. I guess we might as well do that. Start. Oops, that's a construction office. For me, these two look very similar in a way, and I tend to... Yeah, so we want covered hall. Okay, so we'll just get one of each going, and then next week we can spend some time, a little TLC around the map, and, you know, balance things out, and maybe try some crazy things like cable cars someplace just for the sake of it, or whatever we have the time for, right? Okay, so that was that. How are you guys doing? Are you messing? Oh, yeah. They're their own worst enemy. So they just got out there. They didn't do a darn thing except for block traffic. And did we catch that quick enough that we're going to get some workers? Yeah, so let's get right on and getting the workers back out there. All right, so that will get crops into here. Chemicals are going to come in by the train. Oh, you know what we could do? It would be interesting to see if we could do a crops and chemicals train. Though that never seems to work out. Maybe we'll give it another shot. See if we can't figure out a way next week to get a crops and chemicals train in here. Maybe we just build this up so that we could do two separate trains, right? Like two trains into here that would come over, and... Or do we just do it by truck like we are? Again, we don't need much fabric. This whole thing is way overkill. And then the fabric would come from here by train going into here. So I think, did we get everything? We don't have people coming over to here, but I won't do that until we have a little bit more, yeah, a little bit closer to actual production. Like, I don't mind getting the chemicals started, even if it backs up, just so we make sure it works. Yeah, so we need to get those completed. And then we should start seeing that we have certain things over here. Like, we don't have any chemicals here. But yeah, see, we have our mechanical components, so we won't have electrical components until this guy gets done. But we've got steel, and then we can start working out a few of the issues, even if it's going to stop eventually. Yeah, like this, hopefully that doesn't block these people. Yeah, we don't have chemicals, we don't have plastics. Yeah, so but we got it at least backed up to the point. We got our mechanical components in here, nice. We should have our steel in here, yeah. And then these things, yeah, we don't have mechanical components into here yet. And I think that's because I didn't do this. Right, so our mechanical components guy's running back and forth. But before you go to this warehouse, which is number 7, I want you to go to here and unload mechanical components. Right, and then I want you to do basically a very similar thing with your electrical components. Oh, fire extinguished. Well, that's good. That's not what I meant to do, but no, don't wait. Electrical components. All right, there. Working out those little details is nice ahead of time. Yeah, we can't do plastics, electrical. Fabric, yeah, well, we're not going to do fabric until the end. Yeah, so it'll definitely be, I mean, it's approximately 10 minutes left, you know, for this live stream. So that'll give us plenty of time to get in here and get the rail done. Oh, we, yep. Yeah, why am I so stubborn? I don't know. It's my parents' fault. Something like that, anyway. Do you have workers? Nah, see, this bus didn't have workers. So we'll wait a minute there. And I'll probably close that. Get this done. It'd be nice to see this get... Well, let's wait till these are done this week, even though we're causing a lot of problems. Where were you going? Probably around here. Just wondering where that harvester was going. I guess it's quicker to go around this way. It seems like it would be quicker to go this way, doesn't it? Oh, maybe he was coming from over here. Never mind. Sorry. Let me read a couple chats. I'll go back. You guys have been a little bit more active in the last few minutes. Yeah, John, the cable cars. Yeah, I'd like to at least look at them, even if they end up crashing the game. And Off the Rails has warned us, and I don't really want to crash. I did sort of tried to build them and then gave up. But I'm sure there's some place on this map we can at least play with them for a few minutes. And we'll have plenty of time next week to talk about finishing up this map, maybe even starting something new. Like, let me know if you guys are interested in seeing the Planet Zoo, even if it's just for an hour or two towards the end. It's different. I mean, it's not my favorite game, but it's well done, I think. I mean, at least it's kept my attention. That always counts with me for a lot. Yeah, well, let's see what our forklift thing did. Now, can we now assign... Because we attached here, can we do this? Can't. Forklift garage can't be assigned. So I mean, like 3/4 of why I would find that helpful just went away. Like, I don't understand why you just wouldn't use trucks. Like, fine, if you want to use forklifts because you think they're cool, that's a reason. But, like, logically speaking, I could just have a truck driving back and forth between the two buildings, which is probably even a good thing because this building needs another, like, road connection more. Like, 'cause I'm going to have a lot of vehicles in and out of here. Yeah, so I won't do anything with this, but let me know if you guys, if you dream about it tonight, and I'll let myself stew on this whole thing. If there's something I'm doing wrong, let me know. But do we need? I mean, I can't believe you would need another forklift garage. So they're just really limiting you very greatly in the way you can do things. And I just don't think I'm going to build another forklift garage because really what I want is another road connection. I want another road cargo, and then I can bring all my stuff in and out of that road cargo station, even if it's kind of dumb to drive it from here to here. I could probably just get the road cargo station to provide the rest of the connection, right? I don't know. Would that work? Yeah, that would be weird. I mean, if I put a truck in here, could that act as a pass-through? Right? Does that make sense? Like I could connect this up and that up, maybe? That's interesting. Anyway, we'll see. Village rail construction. Yeah, let's see. Do we have people? Now let's see. Can we get this done before you all leave? I see this bus is escaping. Yeah, let's get, before we end today, yeah, look, these two got done. So now we should see, let's just see chemicals and we'll kind of see how much of this gets fired up. Make sure this works, and then we'll call it quits for the day. Does that sound fair? Eventually they'll get far enough off the road that I'm hoping they stop blocking traffic. Like, and this is, when you say, like, it's dumb, like, come on, let the cars go already, you know? And do you ever get, I've worked in places where you have, like, you know, because I've worked in factories and whatnot, where you tend to have these rail situations like this, where you know the train's just kind of sitting over here, and you know, like people start jumping the gate. The problem with this is, in real life, that's exactly what gets people starting to jump these gates, is because, and there's some of them are like unprotected that I've seen, where there's just guys standing out there, which works better because the guy's going to let people go until it's not safe to do so. Yeah, one more time. Now this time I'm just going to go right away and assign them right back because I see these buses. See, this is the other problem that happens when you have this happening, is that now all of a sudden, like, we get a whole whatever surge of workers, or this bus didn't even have any workers because the other one just stole them all. There we go. So our buses are going back. So hopefully, but yeah, like, don't you think that they could have released this guy by now? I know this one's in the way, but they really should have. They really should have let these guys go by now. There we go. Finally. Okay. All right. How's our chemicals doing? I think we should be in good shape, other than having to reassign some more tasks in a minute. All right. So are we getting chemicals? No. Is there a particular reason? Yeah. Let's head over here and see. Are we making chemicals? Yes, but very few. Oh, you know what? That's right. Having 2 chemical plants might not be as much overkill I was thinking. They're not the most productive plants, are they? 0.5 chemicals per day. Again, I don't think we need a ton of them, but there we go. Well, we're making chemicals, so we should be getting those over in a minute. Or 10. Yeah, let's go get this train guy reassigned. And then is there anything else you guys would like to see? I'll read through some of these comments again. Factory connections to the chemical plants do not seem to be built. Yes, Mattis, that was, you know, that was an oversight. But now they're built. So thank you for that warning. I'm sorry I missed it. Or I did pick it up eventually, but I missed your comment. There's new versions. Yes, I agree with it is a bit messy, but it does work. It does work well. The connection is faulty to the factory. See the arrow when the... Okay, so you're saying this is faulty? Okay, well, I'll rebuild them. If I go to the right place, right? Yeah, that's another thing. It would be, you know, let's just see. Can we... Oh, there we go. Oh, good call. Thank you. All right. Well, there we go. So now what is he doing? He's just driving back and forth really quick. All right. So what is all of this? All right. So we can, when we go to this one, we're going to have plastics. So we don't want to unload. We just want to get, we want to wait. Well, they're cute anyway, aren't they? Wait for plastics. And then when you get to this one, you're going to wait to unload plastics. All right. Yeah, they are cute little things. All right. Well, that's not very dramatic until we get some plastics going, is it? And good. You guys got done this, so we can assign you a little bit bigger project, I hope. You can come up here. You were done that, but you can come up and start working down that track. And then how are we doing over on our tunnel? Are we up to the tunnel yet? We're getting there. Like I said, this will slow down a lot. Then all of a sudden gravel's not our problem because these guys have to run so far out. But they will eventually complete that for us, hopefully by the end of next week. Otherwise, we may never export that way. Because we're going to be really close to self-sufficient, which was the goal that was stated many weeks ago, months ago now. And Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape. Why don't we, just to cheat things along a little bit. Yeah, you only have 0.83. Does one of these have a little bit more? No, let's send this guy to his next stop and just see. And then this guy should start filling up a little more. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll keep this guy open because eventually, just for the purposes of testing. Yeah, this guy has 4.4, so this factory seems to be doing a little better. Let's send him on his way too, to his next stop. Just so we can test this out, and then what do we got going on? Yeah, we should be in good shape. Yeah, we really don't. That's it. This is what I plan on doing. And so next week, like, let me know if you have any suggestions as to what you would like to test, or you know what? We got another. Missed one of these. That's right. We had to build that road at the very end there. Is there anything else? What is that road? It's just a road. Oh, that's a town. that was a town. Okay. That's fine. Concrete can't produce concrete. Okay. That does happen over there. Now, do we have gravel? Yeah, we probably just don't have people. Oh, that's the asphalt plant. Okay. That should have gone away. Why don't we, just for the sake of it, assign this guy as well. All right, did we get some chemicals? Yeah, we got some chemicals. Now, we don't have any workers. All right, well, we got chemicals, so I guess we can't really test it that much, can we? At least we know we got chemicals in there. And then this one, yeah, so we can't make plastics until we get our train line done, which we're working diligently on, and we'll get that done. Really, what I'm thinking of is it's not going to be that, we've got 93% of it done. Right? It's just really getting this track around here so we can get people. And then, of course, you'd probably want to, make sure you're balancing out things at least a little bit more than we have. We don't have a train from here to here. And do we need more trucks to do a certain thing? Like, is this one underproducing for a certain reason? Workers, that kind of thing. Like, we're just not getting as many workers here. Now, the question is, for the workers that we're getting, yeah, like we probably want to maybe add a bus to that. Now, where are you going? Yeah, see, so they're going. Yeah, the bus stop is fine, and I think it has its advantages, but spreading these people out, like we might want to take, like, do we really need that much lumber? Like, let's cut down on the sawmill a bit. That kind of balancing, little micromanaging that makes this game so much fun for us. Yeah, the new shipbuilding, and that would be the other kind of thing we could probably even look into some of that just for the sake of it. Maybe next week. Like I talked about, there's really not a city that would make a lot of sense, but I mean, we could just auto construct things like a port up here. We don't have to make it, just for the purposes of testing some of those kind of things. If you guys want, let me know. I don't want to steal the wind from your sails off the rails when it comes to looking at the boats or something. But if you've already put out your video, maybe we can do a live stream about it next week. I don't even know if you're going to make a video or just look into it. Okay, so let's try that. I think I'm going to just put it in this. We'll slow down slowly. So you're saying, wait, take this off of wait and wait, right? They don't seem to have gone back, but they're just sitting there, which is fine. That was sort of the intention. Yeah, they're not using any fuel now, right? No, they're just sitting there. You could make a waterside building. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's probably about it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I just read through the comments. There's not a whole lot I have to say about the last conversation that was going on in particular, right? Between Radomir and Off the Rails. So thank you guys for all of your advice. And let me know what, like I said, let me know what you'd like to do next week. And think about Saturdays as being maybe every other week might be a way to cut, I get some other things done on a Saturday afternoon. I try to get a bunch of things done on Saturday morning, but because I'm getting busier and busier, it's like I've been spending like all of Saturday morning recording and then take a little break and then come and do this. And then I spend Sunday recording some more. And then it's just, you see what I mean? It's just getting to be a bit too much. If YouTube would pay all my bills, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. But it seems like they're getting worse about paying creators, not better, which, I guess I can't blame them. If I owned YouTube, I would want to make sure I had my yacht before I started paying all these creators. But at the same time, I hope they don't, not so much for me, but I hope they don't ruin YouTube like they seem to be on the path to. I think the creators are what make YouTube, not the executives who own yachts and decide to censor people. So it's sort of one of those, hopefully they will continue to make better decisions than they've made so far. They'll start to make some better decisions. Because I think, again, the creators are the ones that really make them the money, right? You don't come here to watch the head of CEO of YouTube. You come here to watch me or Off the Rails or anybody else who creates. So, in any event. All right, so we'll get these railroad tracks built, and then I think we're going to be able to fire everything up at that point. Where was the other place we were going to send chemicals to? I forget. Oh, no, we don't need chemicals there. There was some place. This. Yeah, so we should have chemicals. We didn't send this truck out. That's what it was. So we could tell this guy to go to his next stop. But I won't even bother since there's not going to be any people here until we get some crops in. And we can talk about whether we do that with truck or train. Yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah. By the way, that always goes true off the rails. Not to get into YouTube business, but yeah, don't ever feel. And I probably shouldn't have even said what I did. Like, just make your videos, right? There's no stepping on each other's toes. And if you step on my toes, I should have got mine out of the way, right? Like, if I make a video about the forklifts and you make one, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I should have got mine out first or made a better video. It's not a matter of a competition, like I've said in the past. So yeah. But again, at the same time, I don't want to. If you tell me you're going to make a forklift video, I would watch yours first before I even decide to make mine. Give yours a chance to air, and not like steal your idea at that point. And so if you're going to make a video about boats, I don't want to sit there and. Because I wouldn't have made a video about boats. I would feel like I'm stealing your idea, which wouldn't sit right with me. But don't feel that way yourself. That's my own issue. Like I don't think I'd feel that way in reverse. Just maybe being a little bit too courteous at that point. All right, guys, I'm going to pause the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And, I think that's about it. It's about my dinner time. So let me know if you have any last minute. I'll leave it play. And if you guys want to talk for a while, I don't mind leaving it just sit here. But once you guys, fade away, then I'll cut off the stream. But I don't mind if you guys sit there and keep chatting while we do it. Let's do our normal save so we can see exactly where, more or less, where we'll come back. So I'll do my typical LS after 27 we're up to. go. All right. So there we go. So I'm going to go off and eat some dinner. Thank you guys very much. And Happy New Year to everyone I didn't say that to. Definitely appreciate all your support over the last year. And I've had a lot of fun doing it, as I've said before. So thank you. And thanks for all your participation today. It was very nice to see everybody chatting and participating, even if it is in Czech without me. Right, Radomir? It's all good. Like I said, as long as you're not pissing off the YouTube lords, it's talking about things in Czech that are inappropriate for children under the age of 13 or something like that. Anyway, I'm sure you aren't. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And hopefully I'll talk to you next week. Thanks again. Take care.